All right, we're sowing seeds again this week in the grow room, but I really wanted to show you guys this. This is a dahlia, and I propagated it from cuttings from, I'll show you the original dahlia. This dahlia, it's not a zucchini. These are pots that my mom had found alongside the road that were free, and obviously they had labeled them. But I got 2 tubers from a seed company, and I got Junkyard Dog and Hula. So this is one of those. They said on the instructions that you could tell the varieties because they were stamped, but the peat moss had covered the tubers so much I couldn't even read what they were. So I don't know which one this one is until it grows out. Last year it didn't get big enough to flower, so I stored it, overwintered it, just like I do my potatoes. I've been trying to overwinter dahlias and been unsuccessful, but I'm like, wait, why don't I do it just like I do my potatoes? And had way better success. So this is way better, already way bigger than it already got last year. But the downfall with the way I had sown it, I stored it, is that they were already growing eyes, and this one got pretty leggy. So I took cuttings, and I had gotten quite a few, I think 6 or 8, something like that, and I just stuck them in compost. Sometimes I use rooting hormone. I don't find that that is any better. I think that maybe rooting hormone might give you a more confidence and maybe having a little bit more of a successful propagation, but I already know that you're going to have a lot that don't make it, and that's fine. That's actually normal. So out of the 6 or 8, 2, I got one that's way over there that is probably half this size, but it's still looking good. But I put it in those these paper like pots, you know, that are supposed to be biodegradable or whatever, or compostable or whatever. But of course I was seeing roots, which I was like, oh, that's great. But this is just the top of the roots were actually growing up like this, and it actually caught my attention. I was like, I think that's a root. I don't know why it's growing up. It will not come out the bottom. And that is something that I have an issue with these pots. So today we're going to put it in one of our, you know, these are also just reused. I don't wash them out. I don't do any of that, because I've said before, plants, 1, they want to grow, but 2, they're growing out in the environment. It's not sterile out in the environment either. So if it's not going to make it, it's not going to make it. Let me I might need to get more soil. All right, let's really got a lot of roots. It's really looking good, other than I was concerned that the roots were growing up instead of down. 1. All right, I gotta go get some more soil. I got a bag that I bought at the box store, but I haven't put it in my bin, so I'm gonna go do that and I'll come back. Okay, I'm back, and I got more potting soil, and this is what I'm using. It does say somewhere on here to only use it for in-ground planting, but I think because it says garden soil and not seed starter and all of that, But at I think that bag was $2.50. They were having like super duper sales, so I got it because it was the cost. I only need to have a bag for just a few weeks until my compost bin gets where I can work in it. Right now it's mostly the snow's gone off of the bin, but it's very muddy down there because that's where all of our water from the yard drains out that corner of the property. So it's pretty wet. So anyway, so we got that all fixed and looking good. That's a dahlia. And also I noticed, I think I talked about it in one of the weeks that we were sowing seeds together, that I overwintered one of the pepper plants I had outside. And there was 3 of these. These are 5-color, Chinese 5-color peppers. Also, I think M.I. Gardner calls the seed firecracker, but rareseed.com says that they're 5-color. Same pepper. I've talked about this before, that lots of things that are actually the same are named different at different seed companies or bulbs or whatever. I'm not really sure why that happens, but it definitely can be confusing. So anyway, I saved 3 of the, because that's what I can fit on the above my sink in the kitchen, where I get pretty decent at least eastern sun and through most of the morning, early afternoon. And so 2 of them succumbed to the aphids, but this one had aphids too, and I was treating them all the same, but the other 2 just couldn't make it. But this one pulled through, still looking good. It produced some flowers, and I have some little, I don't know if you can see them, some little peppers. Can you see them good? These peppers don't get super huge. They're surprisingly hot for how little they are. But that was fun to overwinter some peppers. I do that quite often, and I have good success up until right about now. Everybody, I think, feels the same, even the plants, that they're like, okay, I'm ready to get outside. And if they're gonna die, they're gonna die in the early spring, right before they're to go outside, and it's not quite warm enough. But this one's holding its own, looking really good, lots of new growth. If I decide to do one again next year, I'll show you the process and what I do. It's pretty harsh, which is probably why they get aphids, but you know, we'll see. So anyway, these are the tomatoes that we potted up last week, but they've gotten huge, and I actually have room now. I'm moving the wheat out into the outside greenhouse so that I have more room down here for my peppers and my tomatoes. Oh, talking about peppers, I saved seed from this plant and its relatives, and they're looking pretty good. I got pretty decent germination. I mean, I've got a lot of little necks that are, you can just see the little white necks, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are up and have their seedling leaves, so that's good. And I'll show you how to save pepper seed. Pepper seed is super easy to save. The tricky ones are the tomatoes, which all of my tomatoes are saved seed. These are Romas, and we'll be potting up Romas and cherry tomatoes. I didn't write a specific variety when I saved them. I just classified them as Roma, or cherry, or a beefsteak. But I grew several varieties of those, and I just mixed in the seeds. It doesn't bother me. I just like to know, okay, is this going to be a big one, or more of a salad size, or a big slicing, you know, basically. But the names of the plants don't really bother me, you know. I just need to know so that I know what we're gonna have in the end, you know, the end product, basically. Okay. I think I had gotten, oh, I did. I was like, I brought in a bunch of pots. I'm going to take off the seedling leaves, just snip those off like that. You don't have to, but it does encourage rooting. I know that the little hairs, they say, are roots, but at every leaf node there's a hormone that's released, and if a plant loses its leaves in that area, then it will either grow a new stem, new roots, or more leaves. I don't remember what that hormone is that the plants release, but we got a couple of the cherries. I won't bore you. We'll pot up a couple of cherries. I'll explain my process. And then I just fill the pots, you know, about half full. And then take one. And they're not necessarily ready to pot up. One, I need more space and I need to start more seeds. But also, they're starting to get leggy, and so I wanted to get them into a pot with more soil up and around their stems and encourage more rooting, more root growth. If they fall over, just prop them back up and put some dirt in around. Okay, there's that one. And then also I want to discuss, oh, I got dirt in my coffee. Holy cow. Let's see, what other things am I gonna be sowing? I'm not sure if I should direct sow these outside, or put them in 6-packs. And I didn't have any luck on my overwintering the onions. As I had said in past videos, that is pretty risky, but the few times that it does work, I feel I don't mind taking that risk. And so what I do is sow saved seed. Of course, they're saved seeds too, so I wasn't sure how viable they are. So I sow saved seed, and I sow it heavily in pots that I keep out into the garden all winter. And they do grow. I do that about August, because when you watch allium naturally go to seed in the garden, forms the seeds, and about August is when those seeds are ready, and they'll be falling out and then overwintering in the garden, and you know. So I feel like that's the natural cycle, and so I put them in a pot, and they do grow. They get about, you know, like that, a couple inches. They'll have a leaf or two, and then they go dormant. And they were I had two. Now I don't know if the chickens tried to pull them. They didn't eat them, but I found them on the surface. So I don't know if it was the chipmunk that is out there or the chickens. I have a feeling it was the chickens that pulled it up trying to find something. But I also noticed it was pretty mushy, so I'm not sure that it was going to make it anyway. So I had two that were looking really pretty good, and then like I say, about a week or so ago, they got pulled up and died. So like we talked about last week, I'm looking at things that are more like the 60-day length time frame of sowing and harvest. So these onions, these green onions, bunching onions, are 60-day. So I think I might direct sow these though, because I generally direct sow onions. I got some carrots, which I definitely direct sow those. So those will go outside. But I got some Genovese or Genevois basil. This is a culinary basil. Did we sow? I do have some holy basil. I don't know if we did that in the video or if I just did it off camera. That's not germinated yet. I do have, I'll show you, the lavender is looking pretty good. I did have a lot that died off from the transplant shock, but I got quite a few that are still looking pretty good. And I got broccoli. This is saved seed. So that's pretty good. I do have some peppers coming too. The peppers are going to be my weeds this year. Last year and the year before, it was tomatoes. And I do save them. I do transplant a bunch of them and just let them grow. The problem is that we don't have enough growing season to get them to bright red. So I'll have a few generally from those plants that just volunteer plants in the garden, but I use those green tomatoes in relishes and stuff like that, so they don't go to waste. I just use them in a different way. They make a great hot dog relish, by the way. What else do we got? Oh, I got some the cabbage is coming up, and I sowed some in the greenhouse, and they look about the same stage. So I think to save space, I'm gonna start sowing them initially in the greenhouse because they don't actually mind growing in an unheated greenhouse. I wanted to see the difference and if it made any difference, and it does not. They're both at the same stage. They look the same. So, all right, let me get some trays and we'll sow some seeds. So I got fresh coffee, no dirt, and while I was up there, decided that we're gonna sow some onions, and I will sow some beans, but I'll also do some direct sow and see which is better. I was probably not gonna make any difference, but I like to just get my hands dirty. So I pulled out some of my 8-packs that I have on hand, and they're going pretty good. The leaves that we took off of the tomatoes, those are in here too. That doesn't bother me. They can compost in here. Okay, so that's full. Onions are just basically surface sowed. I think they may also need light to germinate. And I think that when packets say light, I don't know that it necessarily means actual light. I think they're just saying it that way so that us as consumers know that they just need to be on the surface, you know, because I watch a flower farmer and she has a germination chamber and that's dark, and she puts in seeds that need light to germinate. I think that it's more oxygen that they need. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but anyway, we're sowing onions and we're going to surface sow them so that they can get oxygen to germinate. There's not very many seeds in these. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys have been to the dollar store to buy seed. I do that to supplement my seeds because they still work out less than $1 a packet. But these American seed packets are $1.50 now, and you only get 3. I might not have been so upset that the price increased, except now I have to pay more for less. All right, rant over. They still work out 75 cents a packet. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna put 2 seeds, 2 or 3. I can't see the dang things, so that may have been 4. I was thinking I might do a whole bunch, but I really don't want to separate. I'm just gonna tamp them down a little bit so that they make contact with the wet, moist soil. That was 3. That I think was 2. All right. I mean, that gives us, 16. Put a marker in. I'm generally not really good about that because, again, I'm like, oh, geez, what did I plant in here? But once it starts coming up, I know what it is. But that's just me. I'm one of those, what is that trend on social media? Is it reckless gardening? Something like that. I think it's reckless gardening. I don't follow it, but I see reels and short videos about that stuff. I was watching one. Well, I wasn't watching it. It came up in my feed, but I don't know the details about it. If anybody does it, I think it sounds fun. Let me know what it's actually all about, because I have no idea. I didn't do any winter sowing. I had really good success with that last year. And you can still winter sow, meaning if you don't have grow lights or unheated greenhouse, just get a milk container or some sort of clear-ish container. Cut it, not all the way off, but enough so that it has like a hinge. Fill it with you get drainage. You gotta have drainage holes in it. And sorry, the soil's making me kind of sneeze. Fill it with just a tiny bit of soil, and then tape it back shut. Take off the cap, because you don't need the cap. That's where the air comes in and natural rain and all of that. And I had really good success with that last year, but I didn't do any this year. I don't know why. I said I was going to. I guess I've been kind of doing it out in the greenhouse. I have a greenhouse. Look at you out there. Probably next weekend. I think it's supposed to be really nice. Yesterday, I'm super tired from yesterday. It was so nice. I did a bunch of raking. I don't have the whole yard done, but oh yeah, we gotta sow our beans. Maybe a quarter of it is raked. I really wasn't rushing. It was just so nice, and just to hang out outside, and the chickens have been free ranging. They're not in their tractor or anything, because I don't have anything out in the yard, so that's been nice. The dog and the chickens, they seem like they like hanging out with each other. Just drop a bean in. Obviously, that one's not going to do anything. It's a half of a bean. Oh, that reminds me. This is like another half of a bean. A lot of seed companies buy bulk seed from seed houses, and you know, they sell the top grade to the farmers, and us as home gardeners get basically the floor sweepings, and this proves it. I mean, the quality of these seeds. So if you're not getting good germination, or you know, you're like, stuff I just can't get anything to grow, I don't think that it's you. I think that it's this quality of the seed. And it's not just this seed company. I think they all do it. This is another half of a seed. Paid 75 cents for half seeds. So I have just 2 seeds that left, so I'm just gonna double seed one. We can put more dirt on these and actually cover them up, but not super deep. That's just my belief, but I think that proves it, right? Okay. These are Blue Lake bush beans. I generally grow, my green beans are pole beans. I don't know why I grow pole beans. I don't have, well, I think I do because I can grow them vertically, and I don't have a ton of growing space. So I think that's really what my thought process on that was. But when I was looking at what grows in 60 days, these bush beans were coming up. These are 55 to 60. So, and my parents always grew bush beans. All right, there we go. I'll see you next week. Maybe we'll be out in the greenhouse. Happy growing.